that, folks that already got 5,000 and 10,000 rounds of ammo are still buying thousands of rounds, but the people who are buying, all these new gun owners that are out there buying these guns, they don't have any ammo to train with. A lot of them don't even have ammo to carry. So we have come down on the prices of our courses. We've shortened our courses. More importantly, we've lowered the round count so that hopefully it's all a wash. It's the same money. You got people paying, oh God, I'm paying 6 and 7 times the amount of money I was paying for 9mm.
The ammo thing really scares me for a number of reasons, and I think it's been started by a few companies over a petty beef of who drove up the Vista bid, and I've been very outspoken about it. And I think, there's certain ammo companies that are fucking assholes because they caused the problem. And they caused a majority of the problem that we're facing now. And then, you have a lot of people that go out there and they say it's hunters, it's preppers, it's this, it's that. I try to explain to them, do you know how stupid you sound? We can equip an entire military, the most powerful military in the world, with enough ammunition and enough munitions to level countries. Right. Yet, all of a sudden, we have a shortage on the street.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
And they're killing the instructors.
Yep. They're killing the industry.
And that's part of the problem.
But yeah, we are, if you're not making drastic moves right now, it's going to be hard for you to continue. It really is. Even the big companies, all of them.
What suggestions do you have for people that are struggling with ammunition? How do you fix it?
I'll just put it this way. Listen, if you got a few thousand rounds at the house, you're good. Now, that is a very subjective thing as far as, how many rounds does it take for somebody to feel comfortable. But if you've got a few thousand rounds at the house and inside that your ass isn't going to do no training this year, stay out the damn gun store buying the ammo, because there's a lot of people who need that ammunition. They need it. They need it just so they can learn how to be safe with the gun. Just basics.
Right.
We're not running and gunning, if you got 50,000 rounds of ammo and you don't have enough magazines for all that 50,000 rounds, you don't need 50,000 rounds. I need mags, baby.
Right. But, my fear is for the instructors, right? Because they're taking away the popcorn in the movie theater. That's the fear.
Yep.
And I worry about the instructors having enough to be able to fuel the cycle going round.
There isn't. You got to be creative. We include ammo in our basic pistol class. We had to. We had to. Like, it's... When you've got people that are emailing you for weeks, they've been trying to get into your basic pistol. We offer a minimum of 2 to 3 basic pistol classes per month. You got people for months trying to get in class, but they can't because of ammunition. And I'm like, I've got to figure out a way to do it. So I bit the bullet, and we spent a lot of money on a lot of ammunition, and we're not even making a buck on it.
Right.
It's just so that you can get in the class. And that's only giving 25 rounds to each student. Just basic class. But it's more than nothing. It's a lot better than nothing, but that's what we've had to do. I don't want to be in the ammunition business. That's not my, but I got to do it.
Yeah, it's terrifying what it's come to in terms of the ammo business and the manufacturers, and it's a dangerous game of chicken that they're playing. And I wish they would listen. I wish they would listen to podcasts like this, conversations from instructors. And, I think it's a very selfish game.
Sure. And it's business. And we both understand business. We understand the goods and the bads of it. And unfortunately, and I'm hoping that you're not true or that you're not correct. I'm hoping that it's something else. You know what I mean? And that it's just not enough ammunition for everybody. I'm really hoping, I'm just hoping that the statistics are way off. They're talking about millions of gun owners. It could be tens of millions. We don't know. I'm hoping you're wrong, but I have that underlying fear too, because I understand business and we both understand greed. And I'm all big into the capitalist stuff, but there needs to be a moral limit. You know what I mean? Like, guys, look. We're literally talking about life and death and people being able to protect, and fulfill what the Constitution is promised, being able to pursue life, liberty, and happiness. Like, dude, that's how, for me, that's having a firearm is my guarantee, right? That I'll be able to do that, you know?
I think that, a lot of people look at that and understand and fundamentally get it. But the firearms industry has been plagued by situations like this where we have the opportunity to succeed. We have the opportunity to move forward. We have the opportunity to gain ground, right? To get all these new shooters, which I want to get into who they are. And we fall flat on our face because we can't supply. We don't have the right, the demand isn't there. Walk me through, I have my theory. When someone buys a new gun and they're not going out and they're not shooting it, using it, they're not participating in the sport of shooting, they're not training, they're going to become disenfranchised with that really quick.
Absolutely. So, it's a couple things. We have to look at the industry has been groomed for that, though. If you think about it, just in the past 5-6 years that I've been in the industry, we usually see some type of political something where they're like, we're thinking about coming after your AR-15s again, or we're thinking about coming after your bump stocks, or we're thinking about coming after your pistol braces. And what does it do? It drives sales, right? So we've been groomed for this I would imagine that it didn't just start 5 years ago when I got into it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, the industry is going to do this. But then now we're looking at a huge influx of new shooters, and absolutely they're going to be turned off. I mean, they're
going to throw the gun in their closet.
Yeah, they bought but let's talk about what does this situation usually look like pre-COVID? There's usually a stimulus, burglaries or home invasions are getting a little too close to the house, or you had a friend or family member that went through some shit and you're like, ugh, I need to get a gun. All right. And then you go buy that gun. Usually they'll buy like one box of 20 rounds of carry ammo, and that's it. They'll never shoot again. But then now there's the stimulus, but then now we have this real sense of urgency. And really what it is it's a lot of uncertainty, for everybody. I don't care what you look like and what you do. Everybody had some uncertainty last year. That was a little weird. But now you got the gun, but you can't buy the ammo to protect yourself. So like you said, it's going in the closet and figure all about it.
Now, walk me through who some of these new shooters are that you're seeing out there that are coming into the sport.
Oh, man, the two biggest tanned individuals, black folks, and women. I'm the most the female segment was growing already but before COVID. It was in my mind and the statistics that I've seen, the female segment was the fastest growing segment. But last year, I think that the African American segment probably or should have surpassed that in a very large way. That's what I'm seeing. When I first got in this industry, very rarely would I see another black person. And when I say another black person, I'm not talking about like just a black guy that says I like guns. I'm talking about period. A black guy that says he likes guns, a black guy that's in the industry in any way, outside of Coleon Noir, you know what I mean? Like he's he's that one guy.
But is he the right spokesperson for the industry?
I don't know. I mean, I think so. What I think that he's doing good, right? I understand it from both sides now, and I'll say that he's doing a good job with what he has to deal with. Because looking like us, we have to deal with a whole nother set of circumstances. We'll get shit on quick by people who look like us. You know what I mean? And not in a necessarily a bad way. When I say that, meaning like if we do something that we're not supposed to do or say or whatever, we're going to hear it bad. So, sure, because I know that most people wouldn't be able to do what he's doing. No, most folks aren't going to be able to deal with that spotlight. Not that kind of polarizing. He's in a very polarizing spotlight. And me and Coleon Noir aren't like, super bro homies. But I think that he's the man for the job because I know a lot other people couldn't do it.
I do wish, you know, I you know, a lot of people think I'm critical of Corleone. I'm not. I do wish he would do a little bit of his homework though on some things when he. I think a lot of it starts to turn into pandering to one side and not understanding, like, you know, when you walk around an ammo facility and you're going to do a Q&A with an ammo guy, ask the tough questions, you know, be a guy who asks the questions. Don't be afraid to ask those things.
But that's hard. And we both know why. We both know.
He doesn't want to lose the free box of ammo.
Maybe. It could be.
You know?
So I look at it like, so here's what I do. I'll tell you what I do. I'm very, 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 very particular about who I get in the bed with, okay? The companies that I decide to partner with, I'm a brand ambassador for Smith & Wesson. I'm the newest brand ambassador for Smith & Wesson. I don't think they've ever had a black guy do it, right?
It's amazing.
But I think so too, and I appreciate that. But I'm very particular about that.
Right.
You know, it could have been any company. Right. But I'm particular about that. Like, and you have to be, you know, and one of the biggest things is, and this is when we were writing a contract with Smith & Wesson, is the biggest thing was that I needed to maintain my integrity, that genuineness that people have learned to love about me and they see in all of my content. I'm going to tell you the truth. Going back to what you're saying, the free box of ammunition, I don't know if it's that way for him, but to ensure that that doesn't happen with us, we're very funny about who we partner with, and they understand, like, this is who we are. We ain't changing. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be able to pay for it. But that stuff does happen, but that's in any industry.
It's in any industry, you know, but here's my thing. It's always been this way with me. This is the only industry, that when you turn on Fox News and there's a gun rights issue, I brought this up before, you get a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
Or you get it. And it doesn't make sense to me. To me, it's like, it's because I bought Nikes. I know basketball. I know the NBA.
Absolutely.
So what I say is we shoot ourselves in the face, right? Guys like Corleone are awesome and can do a lot of good work in multiple communities across the board. And they can absolutely crush it if they're willing to ask some of the tough questions, because those are the people that need to go in and shake the trees sometimes.
So it's like a Maj.
Yeah. I love 95% of what Maj is doing. You know that. 95.
We both agree. Me and Maj do it too.
Okay.
We'll be like,
and I get that. People might not like 5% of what I do. I get it.
Sure.
I understand. But here's the thing. You have to take a very unbiased approach. We cannot as a group say we want transparency, right?
Sure.
And then not be transparent ourselves. Sure. We want the whole picture, but give the whole picture.
But here's the thing. Ain't nobody ready for the whole picture. Me and you both know that. Nobody's ready for the whole picture. They want that picture that's being painted to them by Fox, CNN, and everything else. Nobody want the picture, the real picture. No, hell no. Nobody wants it. We're not equipped to deal with that kind of stuff. We're very fragile-minded individuals now. You got what I'm saying? Where we live in a world where if you say something, John, that I don't like, I can X you from my life. I can block you from everything.
100%.
Right? But that ain't life, John. You know what, John? I got to see your ass today. You got what I'm saying? That's not how life works. But it's too fragile. We live in too fragile of a world where if I say one thing that you disagree with, instead of doing the opposite, I was taught to embrace the opposite, embrace the person who thinks a little differently than you. Maybe you can learn some shit, including sitting across from the table from somebody who may dislike me just because I'm got a little bit more color in my skin. You got what I'm saying? Who's willing to do that shit? Not many.
It's funny, you know, radicalized Ryan just said they can't handle the truth.
Damn right they can't handle it.
That's pretty funny.
Hell no.
They can't, you know, and you,
there is some more of this drink.
There is a lot of, get some ice.
Get some ice.
There is some truth to that, and there is some, you know, get some ice. Fix her upper. You know, the reality is, I think for everybody, we just, I want to see, especially with something that affects the group as a whole, with the ammo thing, you want to see a little bit more transparency with the ammo. You want to see a little bit tougher questions. You want to see a little bit more understanding from all sides. Like, listen, this may have happened. We want to, give ourselves a path to make the most ammo we can. Yep. We get it, and be real about it. Be upfront about it. Because my fear is the instructors, right? The instructors need this runway too to get out there and teach a lot of the new folks out there about the great sport of shooting and how to participate in it. Yep. And without that, that runway, it's very hard to get out there and do that. It's just,
man. Well, what about the lady who's 60-something years old? She's got arthritis and every other issue known to man, but she could still pull that 4.5-pound trigger.
Right.
And that, to her, is her only way to defend herself.
100%.
She's a widow.
Response time is death to her. Time is death. Yeah.
And for a lot of these old people, they live in areas that they're not really, it used to be nice areas. The only way they have to protect themselves is that firearm, but now they don't have ammunition. You know what I would like to see in this industry as a whole is I see a lot of testosterone, dick measuring.
Preach.
A lot of tiny dick dudes, toddler penises, measuring is what I see. What I want to see is some of the real dudes stand up, have a little love and compassion for others, and be like, you know what? I got you. I'm going to take care of you. You got what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Look, all this macho, stop beating your chest, bro. Like,
I was this or I did that.
Who gives a shit? You don't hear me talking a lot about policing and all. I did some cool shit in my time.
I'll say something that'll blow your mind.
Go ahead.
Most of those guys, they're retired. And that's what they don't realize. That's what gets lost in translation. Yep. I'll say it again. They're retired.
Yep.
So it's a lot of the past, right?
Sure.
And listen, everybody's got a story to tell. I say it all the time. Everybody's somebody, just ask them.
Yep.
But the reality is you cannot get by on just that.
Nope.
There has to be more. And the industry needs to expand. We need things like instructors and group instruction. We need things like, we need people like Corleone Noir. We need, you have to have these different outlets. It still blows my mind, Ken, that I was the first person to do this.
Yeah.
On this scale.
Well, oh, dude. First off, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. This might be my 10th or 15th podcast where I'm impressed.
Is it the best?
As soon as the best I've seen. No bullshit. And I'm proud of you just as a person, right? As your friend, as another dude in the industry, seeing somebody else succeed. Dude, you're killing it.
We need this.
And hell yeah, like your listeners, they gotta have, dude, look at social media. We are the most, the firearm industry, we're the most hushed up, suppressed industry, period, dude. We gotta have this. That's why, we're sitting in the lobby talking. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to come to Vegas 3-4 times a year, for other obligations, and I would love to hop on this show when I come every time.
Vegas needs you.
Fire. Mm-hmm. This is fire. You're doing something this is epic. So whoever's listening, like, make sure you stay subscribed, whatever you got to do for a podcast, because the dude is doing his thing. Like this, you got to see. I put it on my Instagram stories. This is crazy at Provectus Group, by the way.
We'll get to that.
Hell yeah.
Now, but doesn't it blow your mind? To me, it blows my mind that it took this long, that it's taken to this point.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, you got to understand, in the black community, though, we don't talk about guns.
Why is that?
Hush. I have no idea. I didn't know that my dad had a gun, like, my whole childhood. Zero idea. Zero. Like, didn't know until some shit went down one day.
I had another girl on who said there's two things the black community doesn't talk about: guns and if you're a lesbian.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's crazy.
No, you don't talk about
I was like,
stuff.
What?
It's a little better now, but no.
There was like a huge stigma.
Guns. Well, but you got to think, though. There were laws that were originated to keep guns out of black people's hands. So if me and you are both black back in the day and we both got guns, but we know we ain't supposed to, of course we ain't gonna say shit. You got what I'm saying? So that's just a generational thing of not talking about it because we didn't want to get caught. That's where I would say it came from.
It blows my mind that it's come to that.
It is. But you know what I love to see now? Like I mentioned it earlier, when I first got in the game, you never saw any black folks. Never. And then I started seeing it. And then I learned of an organization called NAGA, it's the National African American Gun Association. I went, holy shit, something like this exists.
It's real.
This exists, right? And immediately was intrigued, immediately was like, well, let me see what they're doing. Great organization. President is in Atlanta, great guy. We're about to start doing some awesome stuff together. But I love seeing people of everybody. I love seeing it. And I love the fact that we're not afraid to talk about it. Right. And you know what? And to be honest with you, I started this company to teach people how to shoot guns. In some ways, people look at it as an advocacy. They look at what we're doing as the leader, one of the leaders in the community or the person to look up to. And you know what? I'll take that title. I'll take it. Because I had somebody, everybody needs somebody to look up to with that. But I didn't start the company to do it, but that's what's happening. So you kind of have to embrace it, but I love seeing it.
As a community, does it, and as a former law enforcement officer, does it bug you what LeBron did?
Yeah.
What do you think of that cop that came forward that was like, I want to sit down with him?
I think that's amazing because that's the conversation that the powers to be don't want us to have. The powers to be don't want people like us sitting down at the table and talking. Literally. Now, when I look at what LeBron did, it's easy for all of us to go, oh my God, you shouldn't have done that. You should have known better, blah, blah, blah. This dude lives in a world that you and I have no idea about. The only idea we got of it is what other people tell us or we have no idea. And this ain't taken up for LeBron. His dumb ass shouldn't have said that, period. But we can't just go, shouldn't have said that, and I'm writing you off. I'm not watching you play ball. Look, stop going to the extreme. Again, we need more love and compassion in this world. The man made a mistake, and he needs to be reminded, look, you have a serious following, and you're a very influential individual. Think about or hire a publicist. It's like, dude, you can't say shit like that because that is inciting violence.
My issue was I did a post about it. My issue was if you're quick, everybody's okay with somebody saying something tough.
Sure.
But be quick to apologize. Be like, hey, I didn't get all the facts.
And I made a mistake.
Yeah.
What happened to that? And that was what kind of perturbed me. This last week is when I saw it. I was filming with Smith & Wesson. It's 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. I'm laying in the hotel room and I read this and dude, it kept me up for about 2 hours. I need to take my ass to bed so I can be up the next day.
You need that beauty sleep.
Still ugly as hell. Fuck you. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, 100%. Bro, that bothered me. I'm like, what are you doing? But it's not just his fault. I mean, just look at, I wouldn't be a cop today.
Here's the thing, what I say. People got to understand this. LeBron James made $100 million at 18 years old. LeBron James went to a private high school. I said this in a podcast before. Let's get something straight. LeBron James has no street cred. LeBron James isn't street.
Right, no.
So when people try to talk a certain way and endear themselves to a community.
Sure.
And try to say like, he knows what it's like to be a part of the black community.
Yep.
That motherfucker has had a red carpet rolled out to him since he was 17, 16 years old. You know that.
Yep.
So let's not bullshit a bullshitter.
Yep.
Right?
That's like me trying to say that I understand that. I don't understand that. I didn't grow up in that environment. I did not. And I also realized that when I became a law enforcement officer, right? So, and I wondered, why do they sell dope on the corners? Why are they doing that kind of stuff when they can be out making money and doing a lot of other things? So I had to inject myself in that community, which a lot of folks don't. They stay away. I'm guilty of that too, But I injected myself in that community. I would get out, walk around with the dope boys, and they be throwing their dope, and I'm like, I'm not here for your dope, dude. I'm just here to chill. And it helped me understand why they do what they like. Dude, like it's these are human problems that we have. It's just people aren't willing to. I don't even think we know how to be human anymore. Our generation might be the last.
That's it.
Think about it.
Because we remember not having cell phones.
We remember not having social media. Like, we remember adult life.
We remember rock fights. You know what I'm saying? We remember getting in a rock fight.
I remember getting in real fights. Where I had to put my hands on, and I got my ass kicked. Not this, I'm in my mom's basement talking shit over the internet. Like, we grew up when there were consequences for the shit we said and did.
Because you had to see them in school.
So guess what? It's time to take this shit
back. The only thing we
school.
had as kids was you had like the three-way phone and maybe like someone listened in.
And you said your mom didn't pick up.
You like, did you hear what Ken said? Yeah. I told you he was talking shit.
And you hoping that your buddy's mom don't pick up the phone talking shit.
You on that phone out there?
Get off my damn phone.
Don't be tying up my lines.
You don't pay this phone bill.
But and I don't say this like, LeBron's done some great things with his money.
Yeah.
And like you said, because Maj and I even got into it on the post. And he's like, that doesn't discount everything he's done. I'm like, well, no, but when you don't apologize.
Right, yeah.
And you don't exercise extreme accountability.
Absolutely.
And you don't say, hey, I jumped the gun.
Yep.
You're not even owning what you created.
Yep. But who does, though? Who does?
Well, you would hope, right,
sure.
that something would kick in because of the audience,
sure.
because of the reach.
Sure.
Somebody would say, hey, man, listen, hey.
Well,
hey.
It does start with us. So here's what's wonderful about this country. All the issues that we're having, us as the consumer, we're in control.
Right.
So guess what? If you really don't like what LeBron said, you're like, hey, look, LeBron, if his fans said, until you come out and formally apologize, we're going to rethink this fanship, right? Do you not think he's going to listen? Do you not think Nike ain't going to go, hey, bruh, you need to be doing something? We're in control. We're the one paying for those damn tickets. We're the one streaming the shit online.
Well, they're doing it now because the NBA is in the toilet.
Damn right. We're the one buying his jerseys. We're buying his shoes. We're the one supporting Nike. Guess what? If you don't like the shit they doing on Facebook and Instagram because you're in the gun industry,
don't support it.
Don't get off of social media.
Vote with your money.
Get off of social media. How important is it to you? Do you understand the billions of dollars that social media make on you? Ad revenue? Get off of it. Close your account. Close your account. What if 10% of people on social media did that shit for a month? First off, your life would be so much better. I just came off of a hiatus. I did it for like 3 months. I'd post once every 3 or 4 weeks. I can't stand social media. Go watch that documentary, Social Dilemma. It's good.
Well, what you can do is you can set, schedule, to post some stuff. If you want to take like a week, whatever,
Sure.
just some stuff just to pass
Nobody
by.
told me that.
Yeah.
I just said, no, I'm not posting
Yeah,
anything.
you could do a schedule. My thing is this with LeBron is I would love, because he's a guy who can influence so much change.
Yeah.
If he did take that officer up on his suggestion of
Sure.
like, hey, I'd love to sit down with you.
Sure.
No cameras, no nothing. I think he handled it the right way. I'd like to see him make it right.
Yep.
Because it could change things.
Yep.
Like we see guys like Bill Maher talking about cancel culture, right?
Sure. What is that about? I heard about that earlier.
So he's come out and he's been like, what is this? Like, we need a list every week of who's being canceled. Like, this is getting out of control. You know what I mean? And there's some people on the left that are like, how far is this going to go?
Yep.
And this is the thing. Look, I'm going to give you guys breaking news. People fuck up.
Sure.
People make mistakes. And especially if you're in the public eye, you're going to make them.
Yep.
If you own them quick, hey, listen.
I messed up.
Something flew out of my mouth.
Hey man, look, I saw it. I saw the video. Everybody saw the video and was emotionally charged. It doesn't matter what ethnicity you are. When you watch another person being killed, it's going to make you feel a certain kind of way, especially in the environment that we are currently living in.
And in the end, based on what we saw, based on what we know right now, he made the right choice.
Absolutely. Cut and dry. Like textbook.
What was the alternative?
Book. Nothing. That's the thing. So we get the opportunity to Monday morning, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday morning quarterback that shit. He had tenths of a second to make a tenths.
And it was every bit of tenths
of a second. And he made the right choice. Good job, officer. And that's the reason why even on my own social media, I try to keep political and then,
I don't know that this is a sociological thing more than anything.
And that's the reason why now I'll put stuff in my story. We support good law enforcement, period. 100%. As a matter of fact, I'm the guy when I'm driving down the street, I see a police officer that's on a traffic stop on the side of the road. I slow down just a little bit to make sure that cop is good.
Yeah.
Because if I see him getting his ass kicked, I'm pulling over to help.
Right.
That's what happened to that.
A culture has been created by politicians. I'm going to tell you the answer. You're not going to like it because it's going to drag us down a rabbit hole, but I'm going to say it. A culture has been created that you're better off running, right? If you run, the cop might do something stupid, and then you catch a case the other way.
Yeah.
Or you make a headline.
Sure.
Or you make a splash on social media.
Sure.
And you get that social media fame.
Is it attorney's fault?
No. It's Maxine Waters. It's everybody. It's every politician that is emblazoned people to get radical.
Okay, yeah. All right. So that was my question. What's the goal? Is it to get everybody nuts?
I've said this before. I try to tell people this. If you think guys like Jack Dorsey who run Twitter, guys like Zuckerberg that run Facebook and Instagram give a shit, they're anarchists. They're not Republicans. They're not Democrats. Sure, yeah. They're anarchists. Yeah. Jack is in Costa Rica butt naked doing yoga, doing God knows what with 3 wives. Who knows what that guy's doing?
Right.
And Zuckerberg could care less. He's worth billions of dollars. He doesn't even, according to him in Congress, he doesn't even know what his company does. He's just like,
right.
He's able to play stupid. We allow it. It's like in the firearms industry when executives call me and they're mad someone did something and they have a big account. And I'm like, you created that person.
Yeah.
You created them.
Yeah.
You gave them the power.
Yeah.
And now you're mad because you propped them up and they're taking a big shit on you.
Yeah.
You created them. So what happens is when these politicians get in front of a group and they charge a group up, they're creating almost like I'm better off running.
Sure.
Because the opportunity is in the altercation.
Sure.
And if there isn't one, I'm going to create one.
Sure. Yeah, I personally think that shitty parenting.
Well, that's
period. It's shitty parenting, and then a few people recognizing how to capitalize on it.
Right.
And that's what they're doing. You
parenting has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, man. I can't tell you how many calls I would go to. I would get trouble with juvenile calls, and you get there, and the kid's 5.
Yeah, parenting has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, single family, both parenting. Shitty parenting produces shitty kids. Period. And they go out and do shitty shit. You know what I mean? Like just
the art of the interaction is gone. Yep. Right? You kids, people today, nobody's sitting down and see what we're doing even right now.
They don't even know how to do this.
Nobody's sitting down and having a conversation. Like when I put my phone down and things settle down and we kind of hit a groove and we have a nice hour-plus long chat.
Yep.
I'm able to get to know you on a different level, and you'll walk away and you'll say, wow, I had this opportunity to learn and see how someone else thinks. But that's a lost art. That's really something that doesn't exist anymore. And unfortunately, that's a shame. Because when I was a kid, if I wasn't playing kickball or whatever, wiffle ball in the recess, you were just chilling off to the side. You chat with a buddy. You got to know someone. You made a friend. A real living, breathing friend.
We don't do that anymore.
That's crazy today.
Can you imagine dating? Can you imagine us younger, 20s, dating? What does that look like? Like, do you go on the date and then you text them? But the worst thing that I see, I'll be out in a restaurant. Me and my wife are at a restaurant, and we look next to us, and it was a family of 4. Everybody was on their cell phone. And I'm like, wow. And I'm just asking people just to maybe just maybe that there's a chance that you can educate yourself on this. Like literally the information is out there of the outcomes of, on what social media is designed to do and how it's destroying us. It is destroying us.
I'm sorry, I just had to answer. Tupac Shakur just chimed in. I thought he was dead.
I thought so too. What Tupac got to say?
He said, "I love you guys' show." What's up, Tupac? All eyes on me.
Hey, glad to have you back, bro. Where you been?
I swear to God, somehow this person got the name.
How'd you get shot, by the way? Let us know. We've been wondering.
Thanks, Tupac. It's crazy. I wish that I always try to say, how do we find the solution, right? This situation, this bubbling over of law enforcement, this whole situation. How do we right the ship?
We say that enough is enough first. We need to recognize, like, what's the goal, right? And then once you realize that maybe, just maybe, there's some other stuff going on, maybe, just maybe, you could be being manipulated. Maybe, just maybe, you could be being lied to, right? Maybe, just maybe, most of us walking this planet are good people. Maybe, just maybe, most law enforcement officers are incredible individuals. And do not forget that they are willing to put their life on it. They are willing to die for you. Most people are only going to be willing to die for their children, maybe their significant other. Imagine if you were willing to die for the person next to you that you don't even know, the person who just cussed you, the person who just called you a nigger or racist or whatever, just tried to kill you. You ever worked a job where somebody just tried to kill you and now you're having to save their life? What? Who does that? Nobody. But that's your job. What that means is that I could have been dealing with somebody that was trying to kill me and other people, and say I shot the individual and he's still alive. It is my job to do CPR on that person and try to keep that person. Are you kidding me? Some people would look at that as psychotic. You're going to shoot him and then you're going to try to, what?
It's the preservation of life.
Can you imagine having that job? There is no other job like that on the planet. And what I think, it's a couple things, and it's on both sides. Don't be thinking that it's just the citizens' fault. No, it's on both sides. Law enforcement got some work to do too. Let's not get this shit twisted. I used to tell law enforcement officers this all the time when I'm teaching in police academies or if I'm speaking at their police academy graduations. Humanize the badge. Just be a human. We need more of that.
Reasonableness.
Yeah, just be you, bro. Don't stand on TV and talk in cop terms. Hey, listen, what's wrong with saying, hey, guys, look, I was a police chief for a little while. What's wrong with going, hey, guys, this is Chief Scott. We had a shooting here. We don't have all the details left yet, but we know that there's been a shooting. There's been 2 people that are injured. They've been transported to the hospital. Come on. There's like, I remember when I was in law enforcement and we have community policing. I said, I think it's a shame that you have to put a title on a unit or on a concept, an interpersonal communication concept of community policing. That's a shame that you have to say, be nice. But what they don't talk about is go and do the job for about 2 years and see what kind of person you are after 2 years. You're a completely different individual.
All right.
Policing changes you very, very quickly because you are seeing the worst that the world has to offer every single day for 40 to 60 hours a week for no money. For no money. And I can lose my job at any time because I'm fired for something stupid or somebody kills me because of the outfit I had on. It's not, people don't understand it, bro. Policing ain't no joke.
Maybe LeBron needs a ride along.
Man, he need. Yes, that is correct. We're joking, but that's correct.
Yeah.
I think that everybody needs more education on law enforcement. And I point the finger at myself. I should have been doing more education. Shit, I can talk about whatever I want to now. You know what it's like, dude. When you're a cop, you got to watch every move, bro, on duty and off duty. I got to watch what I say, what I wear, who I talk, everything, what I post on social media. I get the wrong traffic ticket, I lose my job. Like, dude, it's not your normal job. It takes 6 months to get this job. You know, it ain't easy. There's nothing easy about law enforcement. So what I want law enforcement to do, active and retired or used to be like me, whatever you want to call it, we need to do a better job of educating people. If you've done that job, I think it's on us.
Right.
Not just the people that are currently wearing the badge. It's on us. We need to educate people. Hey, this is what it's like. This is the reason why the side of the road is not where you want to plead your case. Okay? Like, and guess what? This is what you do when you realize that you're dealing with a cop who's shit. But here's the problem. We're going down the wrong road right now, John. Because now you've got cops that are good cops, that are white, that are afraid to talk, interact, or deal with anybody of color. And I'd be the same way. I wouldn't be trying to catch her. Are you kidding me?
Be hiding.
Look at what just happened to this guy. This guy saved 2 girls' lives. I'm talking about the officer in Ohio that shot the black girl. Was she 14, 15, 16 years old?
I think she was about 16. But she was an honor roll student.
It doesn't matter. When you look at the law and you read the law when it talks about murder, there's no exception in there for I was an honor grad or an honor student or I make straight A's or I go to church or I do. No. You trying to kill somebody, another person is justified in using deadly force against you. And so first off, that's tragic that whatever was going on in that girl's mind, you gotta be some shit gotta be going down.
Oh, and I'm sure it'll come out. Yeah.
Somebody? Dude, that's one of the most intimate crimes you can make. Talk about emotionally charged. So that's one thing. I hate that this girl had to die. That's sad. And it shouldn't happen. But he saved 2 people's lives that we know of. What if she stabbed all of them and then kept going?
I hate that she felt that that's what she had to do to prove a point.
Sure.
Whatever the point.
Sure.
Because like you talk about parenting, you know, something went on in that. I don't know who it was, the aunt, the grandmother, somebody was like, but she was an honor roll student.
Yeah, the aunt.
And when I say that, here's the thing, guys. Any loss of life is tragic. We're all in agreement with that.
Yeah.
But when you try to say a but in that situation, you're not taking extreme accountability to look in the mirror and say, why didn't we sit this girl down? What happened?
Yeah. Dude, we have so look, active shooter incidents, by far, when you look at the person who's committing these active shooter incidents, they have some serious mental instabilities. We got a mental problem in this country. And wherever you want to say it's coming from everywhere. Okay. Right. It's just the world we live in. You notice we never talk about in this country fixing the root cause of issues. Instead, we'll just throw some medication at it. It's about the money. Right. Period. It's shit's not going nowhere, guys. The best thing that you can do is educate yourself, at least so you can know what's going on. You know what I mean? So you don't fall into that crap, you know, and you can still maybe, just maybe, live a decent life. Like, I'm not Republican, I ain't Democratic, I ain't independent, I'm an American voter. Okay, and I'm gonna vote for the best person. Chick, dude, or whatever.
Well, you gotta be like 9 things now.
Oh shit, man. Dude, look,
you might have just got canceled.
Sorry, yeah, we just got canceled right there. But I don't do that. I don't get into that stuff, man.
I don't even know what that is.
We know the game. We know the game, man. These folks, they playing golf together and making money. Dude, come on, man.
Have another sip of your drink.
Come on, man.
That's the quote of the show. These people playing golf together making money.
Man, making money. Dude, and what's so funny is you can call it whatever you want. It's like the writing is on the wall. Just take a step back and just look at what's going on for a second. You know, you ain't got to be, I'm not a political person. I hate the news. I hate anything about I shouldn't say hate, but you know what I mean. I don't watch that stuff. I watch it when I travel.
Right.
So my first day here in Vegas, I watch the news in the morning so I can see what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
That's about it.
You get that free electricity, that free water. You just run in that shower.
That's it. You know, like I don't, you know, I just really want, I want people to go to the store and I want them to grab that box of common sense off the shelf and try it. I really do. I'm joking. It sounds funny. That's the truth though. Go and get a little bit of that. Try some common sense today. If not, man, like we're going down a wrong road, man. Like our president sniffs children. I don't care what your political affiliation is. That's weird. Excuse me. Weird is one thing. That's strange. That's strange. That is I thought about this one day when I was brushing my teeth. What would you do if a man came up behind your child and smelled them the way he does? For 5-10 seconds. President or not, are you kidding me? That's who we elected. I didn't vote for him, but that's who we elect. The American people put that guy in there. And I'm just like, forget what his affiliation, what his plan is, I don't care anything about that kind of stuff. He sniffs kids, y'all. I don't care. Y'all getting deluded by dumb shit. Y'all getting deluded by policy. That ain't even his policy. Like, stop getting distracted with the garbage. He sniffs humans like this.
And plays with their hair.
What?
It's bizarre.
What? That is so strange.
But I think people love the chaos. Like that's my theory is people love the chaos. I think people thought, you know, Trump would bring a certain amount of like, you know, whatever to the, you know, and in the beginning, you know, when they first voted for him, he ended up turning out great in so many ways.
Yeah, he was cool.
Yeah.
He needed to learn how to talk better.
He was outspoken, you know, good or bad, you know, he was very transparent.
Sure.
But I mean, it was the issue, you know, beyond him sniffing kids is you have, and I'm talking about Biden. Yeah. You have this whole weird puppeteering thing going on with Kamala where she's listen, let me explain this to everybody out there. The vice president gets stuck with the shit duty that the president doesn't want to do. He assigns her to the border and she's like, I ain't going. Because she knows it's a disaster down there. And God bless all the border guys. Yep. Because it is a hot mess that is down there.
Inhumane what's happening. And I'm just like, makes you want to cry, bro. It's like, dude, are you kidding? Could you imagine? What? I just, you know, in a lot of ways, I'll be honest with you, it makes you just want to give up. Because, you know, in the grand scheme of things, what am I going to be able to do? Right. But, you know, I try every day to just maintain, like, this positiveness, this faith in humanity. You know, and I believe in God. And I have read Revelations once or twice. And I do feel that we're in the end times, but a part of me is like still wants to maintain hope, you know, really, truly, you know, and this goes way beyond gun crap. You know, I'm not even like a gun guy. I like to teach and I want to teach the most important thing to me, and that's how to stay alive. Right. But dude, I just want us to be human again, man. Just normal. If you have a problem with your neighbor, go talk to your neighbor. You know, like just normal. I want the black community to be stronger.
How about the son? The son's getting to speak at a school. That's crazy.
Who?
Hunter Biden.
Oh, God. Didn't he mess with some folks, too?
Yeah, he's getting to speak at a school.
Dude, come on, man. If I was a parent at that school, I'd be like, what the hell is y'all's malfunction?
He's smoking crack.
Get the hell out of here, man.
Getting these speaking gigs.
Come on, man. That's again, listen, but you know what I'm seeing, though, to be honest with you? And I don't think I've ever really seen this, is I'm seeing a lot of people that voted Democrat that are like,
we made a mistake. Yeah.
I'm serious. And I mean, they're publicly like, yo, Biden.
BLM's already speaking out again.
Tripping,
BLM
bro.
turned on him.
You know?
BLM shitting all over him.
That's a whole nother topic. I don't even want to get into BLM. It's a whole, ugh. I want them to stand up for all black lives. not just the ones when cops.
They just bought some nice houses.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
so I look at this. If you want to know how I feel about Black Lives Matter, either they need to change their name, or they gotta care about all Black lives.
I think they should change it to, if the money's green,
sure.
Put it here.
And hey, me and you know that's what's happening, but I can't prove that, right? So I'll refrain. However, I will say what I can prove is all the black folks that are killed every single day and Black Lives Matter don't show up. Nah, I don't want to hear it, bro. I would love to get behind something like that, but I need for all of the Black lives to matter. When you got kids that are dying every day, black kids dying senselessly, okay? It doesn't, just because a white person shoots a black person, it's automatic, right? Like, yo, we're going down the wrong path. We're going to destroy ourselves. And we are destroying ourselves. So, yeah, that's how I feel about BLM. It's not anything, and I would love to support them, but, they're not behind all Black lives.
Why do you think the crime is so bad in Chicago in certain areas, but yet the left chooses not to talk about it? We know it doesn't support the narrative, but how it doesn't even make a sub-headline, how it doesn't even end up like anywhere.
Because it's the norm. It's just like what's accepted when we go to war, that we're going to kill a bunch of people, right? Same thing in these areas. We become numb to trauma, right? That's a normal bodily function. So if you watch nationally syndicated news and you're seeing what's going on in cities like Chicago, although you don't live there, they're talking about who got killed and stuff every day. You become numb to that. What we do, what usually does stand out on the news is at the very end, the last 38 seconds, and then they talk about something positive. Let me tell you about this 6-year-old who survived cancer, and we're off.
Timmy.
And we're done. Off air and cut, right? So that's what usually stands out. When I see something positive on the news, I'm like, wow, that was cool.
Yeah.
But that's the world we live in. Reality TV shows proved that we love drama and trauma and shit like that. It's that emotional and the invoking of that emotion. That's a big deal for us. And that's what the producers and all the directors and all of them know. If we just show them drama and crap, and you see the Real Housewives of fill in the blank, that's what it is. And guess what? You're wasting your life. And the majority of the folks that are watching that shit, the same people on Instagram talking about they leveling up and I started this new business and blah, blah, blah. And they wondering why they ain't got to where they got, because you're sitting there watching that. That's why.
The Real Housewives of whatever.
Yeah, fill in the blank.
Fill in the blank.
Who, what? God damn, boy.
It really is quite, it's actually impressive. The amount of distractions people buy into. And
they did a good job, John. Whoever it is, they know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing.
It's a drug.
Dude, they know what they're doing. So shout out to them, whoever. You're
winning,
doing good.
Eating.
But guess what? We know about you now. Look, I'm looking at the camera. We know you now. And I just want people to look. I know what it's like to when you're sitting there and you're watching this and you feel helpless. You feel like there's nothing, why should I even try? You need to speak up. Even if you just put it on your social media, hey guys, there's some problems going on, and we always remember you are in control. You are in control because you're the consumer. You are the source of their revenue. If it bothers you that much, and that's the key word, the key phrase there. If it bothers you that much for you to get on social media and talk about it and all this crap, what they're doing and this and that and this, if you're not willing to actually do something about it, I don't want to read your post on social media about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I get that some people aren't outspoken, they're not talkers, or they don't maybe, but you vote with your dollar, you can act with your dollar, you can put something out there. That's why I wear this shirt, get woke, go broke. Yep. It's you kind of, you have to start to, like, look at the Academy Awards, right? So to me, okay, the Academy Awards is another industry not far dissimilar sometimes from the gun industry in terms of like way too many white folks running around making too many decisions. It really is. And I'm not saying I've said that before. I'm not pandering. I'm not. Yeah. It's just, I look at it and I'm like, sure, this is a fucking joke. And now they're trying to take it into a whole nother direction. But nobody cares about a bunch of millionaires getting together in a room and giving each other awards.
Sure.
Nobody gives a fuck about that. And nobody should.
Sure. And when I like what you're saying, but I'm a kind of, expand on that. Like I want diversity of every ethnicity,
and so does the consumer.
Every culture, you know. Like I want everybody in the room. I want Asians in the room. I want Hispanics. I want everybody.
But I don't need you to tell me every 5 minutes. Just do it.
Yeah, just do the right thing. If you ain't racist, it's easy to see it.
100%.
You know what I mean? And you know what? To be honest with you, like it. Most folks ain't. Most folks aren't. Now, do we have our biases?
Or prejudice?
Sure. Prejudice? Absolutely.
Sure.
Do we have our biases? Absolutely. But that was what was so wonderful about last year. You know, I usually, you know, I don't like the whole races, you know, card they like to play every few years to get us all riled up. But I'm glad it happened last year. But because of COVID, I had a little extra time. And, It gave me the time to actually research and do the homework that, you know, I probably should have done a very, very long time ago. But here's what I realized, John. They so damn good. They can keep it, what do they call it when they pull the wool over your eyes, wool over your eyes. They can even do it to me. And I'm black, bro.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like that's
I get it all the time. I get it all the time. And then people make fun. They'll say something and I'm like, well, one of my best friends is Cuban. My other best friend's Indian.
Yep. I had no idea this stuff was going on. Like I heard, you know, they were like, oh, you know, it's still systemic racism. I'm like, maybe, you know, like I've experienced it 4 or 5 times in my lifetime. Right. But, you know, I was raised to understand that not everybody's going to like you. You know what I mean? And that's just life. Okay. Now, when we're talking about racism.
And that's different.
Sure.
And that's different.
Sure. However, yes, I did a lot of research last year. I learned a lot about, you know, history and what black people have had to go throughout history and including now. Opened my eyes. Holy crap. But then it also showed me something else where it was like, you know what? Racism is a learned and taught behavior, just like everything else. And by far, your environment is going to be the most influential thing in anybody's life, you know, whatever you're surrounding yourself with. So I'm sitting here like, if they learned it, maybe they can unlearn it. You know how many white people I know that had never met a black person until they met me? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's amazing.
That's crazy, right? You know, when you hear it, you're like, damn. But there's hundreds of thousands of people that, hey, I didn't meet my first black person or white person until I went to the military. So not only did you just become an adult, you just made the biggest decision of your life, and now you just met someone who you might have been told in the past you are to feel a certain way when you're around somebody who looks like this. You are to treat them a certain way when you're around somebody. Can you imagine that? And then you meet them and you're like, shit, you're just like me. Yo, we all the same, John.
100%.
I really don't think it's a color issue. I think it was a color issue back in the day because it held social currency. You know, if me and you owned slaves back in the day and I had a group of black folks, they're worth something, right? Now, I don't think it's about skin color so much. It's about your bank account. It's a socio-economic thing.
Placism.
That's all that is. If I feel that you make less money than me, I feel better than you. And that racism is you feel like you're better than somebody based on the color of your skin, right? It's the same definition. We're just changing a couple words. I noticed that the neighborhood I live in is a nice neighborhood, beautiful neighborhood.
How dare you?
People want to live there, right? Neighbor moved in next door. You could tell they probably shouldn't have been, you know, living there. I treated them differently, and guess what? Everybody else did too. And everybody else were light-skinned, and my next door neighbor was light-skinned. I don't think it has a lot to do with the color. It's just how you feel you are. We all rank each other. You know, if we have a group of friends, you know where you stand in the ranking of it. Yeah. Ain't no different than your bank account, or at least what your perceived bank account might look like. I think that's what it is. It's about the dollar. They've proved it over and over and over again. It's about money. So let's start loving one another again. Let's show a little bit of compassion to one another. Let's all help one another. You know, help each other, man. Like, dude, I'm going to do whatever I can to help John Bartolo. You know what I mean? And then if it helps his show, that's dope. You know, and I know you'll do the same, you know, so that's what we need to be doing.
Well, it's getting a group together of like-minded people and just wanting to win together. Mm-hmm. And you can have differences with people.
Yeah.
You can have disagreements.
Yeah.
You can see things differently.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people say, some of my best friends I don't have to talk to every day. And that's 100% right. Like, they're there when you need them. Reach out. We all get busy. We all have stuff going on. A real friend doesn't see a bank account, doesn't see a color. Just it's like, what's good? And
yeah, man.
We can have an argument, and I'm still going to go home, and I'm still going to try to help you. I'm still going to, listen, can you have differences where you just don't get along? Some people just don't get along. Sure. Yeah, a lot of people that maybe you don't get along with.
Yep.
All that's okay. I say it all the time. I'm talking to a group of 10,000. I want 1,000 to leave and want to lay down on the road with me.
Yeah.
That's going to happen. You just have to do it in a way that there's love, there's compassion, there's understanding that it's okay to have a different thought process.
That's actually how we start to grow.
That's how we start to grow.
You don't start learning. I learn way more from my mistakes and failures than I ever have my successes.
Like, one of the issues, obviously, with the left at times is they're willing to win an argument at all costs.
Sure.
And that's one of the things that I think disgusts a lot of people a little bit to the right.
That's dangerous.
It's dangerous. They're willing to win an argument at all costs.
Sure.
I'm more willing to say, hey, listen, we can have a debate. I love debating sports.
Absolutely.
Suresh and I do a show where we just debate sports on stereo. We just debate sports.
Yeah.
I'm like, we can only use facts, though.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell people all the time. We can have a debate. You want to get into LeBron, Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic, whatever. We're just going to lay out facts.
Yeah.
But in the end, we're going to pound rocks and say, you like who you like.
Yep.
I like who I like.
And guess what? You might put me on some different game, man. Like, dude, you can't be afraid of that. Like, I need people to be willing to sit across from the table from somebody who's anti-gun and who's like vocal about it.
Yeah.
Like, I hate guns. You guys are idiots. I'm talking about the person who's cussing you, dogging you. Sit down across.
I've said it a bunch of times. We're going to lose the gun war.
We are.
We're going to lose.
Yeah.
And I've said it because people say, why do you say that? I can't believe you say that. I say, listen, when some of our biggest spokespeople get out there and they want to debate what AR stands for,
none of that
you
matters.
ain't going to win.
Yeah. I don't even care if it's called assault rifle. Guess what? If somebody is trying to cause great bodily harm to me or people around me, damn right I'm going to assault you. And you got what I'm saying? Like,
and
you can't be afraid of that. But at the same time, John, we came from our background and they didn't. We're talking to the person who was yesterday, I don't ever want a gun in my house. And I was raised that way. But now I've got one, and now you got a bunch of us running around beating our damn chests like a bunch of gorillas. The shit's intimidating. They don't even know where to start. Like, dude, like, we know you the man. We know you the man. I'm telling you now, for the guys out there who
sounds like Chacha,
who gotta be if you're the guy, and you know who you are, you know you ain't nobody gonna. We know you ain't gonna tell us, but you know who you are. If you're that guy who you want somebody to tell you the shit, all right, you are. I'm Ken Scott with Provectus Group is telling you right now, you're the shit. So we're past that, right? So now that you're the man, I want you to put that to the side, and I want you to share some love with these people. Be compassionate when they're asking you these questions that we might look at as, oh, this stupid ass, this is basic. Stop. I see that crap on Facebook sometimes. They dog folks for asking simple, questions. Be nice to these folks. If anything, because you just mentioned this, John, we're going to win. We're going to lose this war if we ain't careful.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? We have a wonderful opportunity now to bring millions of people to our side. Don't just think that because they bought a gun, now they automatically two-way advocates and all. That is not how it works, because guess what? I wasn't either. I didn't get into this whole advocacy thing until a couple years ago, when I realized that, damn, there were laws that kept guns out of people like my hands, you know, like, okay, that's a thing, you know?
Yeah. The biggest thing I'm stuck, educating people on is I'm like, listen, guys, we can only go to the table and have the conversation from where we sit.
Yeah.
I can't go because you get these groups and you know them. They're like, well, I'm a threeper and it's the 2A.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. It shall not be infringed. Well, where we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've been infringing, guys.
Yeah. They've been infringing. Where we are. So here's the deal. We can go to the table with certain things that can protect what we have and where we are. I've never seen a law rolled back.
Sure.
Or at least a meaningful one.
Sure.
That affected me.
Sure.
I mean, I've never seen it.
Sure.
So we have to stand where we are.
We have to understand that it's actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
And if this was our idea and we had this big master plan that we're trying to get through and perfect, if we were smart, we're going to do it in a way to where people aren't going to really notice it. It's designed to be like that, you know? That's just good strategy. You know what I mean?
100%.
So listen, and I'm guilty of this too, man, it's almost like crying wolf. We've heard it a bunch of times. I've only been in the industry about 5-6 years, and I've heard it a bunch of times. And you get to that point where you're like, ain't nothing going to happen. I am 100% guilty of that. But honestly, I think this is it. This is the closest that it's ever gotten. This is the realest.
I agree.
And I think that you need to stand up. It's going to take sacrifice on a lot of people's part. It's going to take you calling in to work or taking a day off. It's going to take you reaching out to your local elected officials and starting there and letting them know, look, this is why this is important to me. I'm not telling you to call up your congressman and cuss them and you piece of whatever because you know they're on the left or Democrat or whatever. Listen, man, put all that crap to the side. These are big boy games, okay? Put on your big boy pants. You got to have discipline. You got to have a little bit of integrity and some thick skin and sit down and discuss with these individuals. Listen, this is why I have to have a firearm. This is why this lady needs one. You know, they don't know that stuff. They getting their information from the same place we getting it, the news. Don't think that it's different. So understand, be nice. We get way more than sugar than we do with vinegar. This is just basic interpersonal communication. So for some of y'all, this is the first time you're hearing this. So it's because we understand the people. So guys, look, we got to do this. Got to be willing to sit down. If you don't have the time, shoot an email over. A nice email explaining why, so that they can understand, look, there are actually people's lives attached to these bills that they're passing for their homie that's going to make a couple million off of it. You got what I'm saying? It makes it a little harder to separate that. When you put a human face with that, it makes it harder to do. And guess what? When they go out and they do hood rat stuff, hold them accountable. Educate yourself on how to hold your elected officials accountable. When we start kicking their ass out and holding them accountable, you're going to see a little bit of a change. People are like, oh, crap, they're not falling for that no more. Come on, guys. Let's play the game.
It's perfect.
Play the game.
And I would only add to it, speak with your dollar.
Please. Oh, man. Look, if you
always
you ain't got to send an email or nothing, stop spending money.
Speak
Seriously.
with your dollar.
And spend your money with people. They ain't just support the right folks. I'm telling you, if you got an issue with something, that dollar speaks a lot more than any words, you know?
We got to go.
All right, brother.
It's an hour and a half.
Dude, this was good. I'm not just talking about the drink. The drink was incredible.
I appreciate that. I think we're doing something special here.
You are. No, not you think it. That you simply are.
I hope so.
I can't wait to come back. This is awesome. So. No, thank you. And to all the listeners, thank you so much for listening. That really, really means a lot to me. Seriously.
I appreciate them too. I want to take a minute. I want to shout out all the sponsors. Nice. They're all listed down below. But first I want to give a quick thank you to Ken. I can't thank him enough for coming on. It means a lot. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Awesome. Website, provectusgroup.org. YouTube, Provectus Group. YouTube is an excellent resource. Free education, free review videos. It's all free, but it's amazing. Instagram, @Provectus Group. Facebook, Provectus Group. That's it. Come check us out.
All right. Listen, guys. You heard it. This guy's special to me. We go back a minute.
And we're traveling this year. A lot of traveling.
Where are you next?
Wisconsin. Oof. And then St. Louis.
When's that cheese festival, though?
I don't know. I like cheese that much.
The dairy doesn't work with us at this age and stage of the game.
I know, right? We got Wisconsin, St. Louis, and then I think Dallas. And then a lot of classes in Atlanta.
Fucking traffic in Dallas.
It ain't as bad as Atlanta.
Atlanta's bad too.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on. I want to thank Galotech Rhino Metals, Gear Up USA, Blackwater Ammunition, Volquartsen Firearms, Pulsar. Thermal imaging technology is coming down in price. Go check out Pulsar, Enforced Weapon Lights, and everybody else. This was a powerful one, guys.
It's good.
Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody. I am going to roll the reel. Can't thank you guys enough. Remember to like and subscribe. I forget to ask. And tap thumbs up and share. It means a lot.